Hello again, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, and welcome to another Horrorpalooza. This is review number 8. We're up to today is the 9th, so I'm probably going to do one more video before the 10th or the 11th. So this is number 8, and this is the movie from the year 2000 I just saw, so I remember most of what happened, and I think it's pretty decent. It has flaws, and I'll get to them, but it's not as horrible as Twilight. Once again, it's another vampire movie, but more not set in the distant future, but like in the it's modernized for that time, and that is Dracula 2000. Yeah, I've had the movie is definitely a mixed bag. I think the film is decent, but I'm gonna get to the negative, the problems first before I get to the stuff that I did like, because I did like the film. Because I don't think it's horrible. Like, the critics just destroyed this movie when it came out in the year 2000, and it flopped, because it's definitely an acquired taste, and I will get to that. But the negatives first. Johnny D. Miller is horrible in this movie. His character is extremely freaking weak. Half the time he's yelling his dialogue. The other time he's like getting destroyed, getting his ass kicked by the vampires, and they're kicking him around and throwing him, tossing him like a sack of potatoes. He's one of the weakest lead male characters in a horror film I have seen in years. The guy is not a good actor. I've never cared for this actor. I didn't like him in Mindhunters or in Afterglow or anything else I've seen him in. I think he's just horrible. I don't watch Elementary because he's there. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is much better than he is. He's horrible in the movie. Everybody else is pretty passable, I could say that, but I'll get to that in the positives. Also, the twist does not work in this movie in the third act. I'm gonna spoil the not the ending, but I'm gonna spoil the twist. Like I said before, when I got this movie on DVD, and I already knew about the twist ahead of time, so it wasn't shocking to me. But the twist is so heavy-handed. Dracula, Gerard Butler, who's good in the movie, by the way. I'm gonna say he did a spot-on performance as Dracula. Is Judas Iscariot from the Bible? I'm like, why? That's a stupid bullshit excuse of a freaking twist. It's like a Shyamalan twist. It kind of ruins the third act for a bit, because it's a twist that comes out of nowhere. It makes no freaking sense. It's completely fictionalized. It just doesn't add anything to the movie. They try to be different with this stupid twist, and I'm like, that's just a bad writing mistake by Joel Salson. Yeah, that's a stupid mistake, dude. Don't incorporate religious propaganda into a horror film. It just feels very heavy-handed and forced. I get that, Dracula's afraid of crosses. I get that. And the crucifixes, and sticking a stake through his heart. I get all that. But the religious themes are just way too heavy-handed. It's not for me. I don't watch religious movies. It's not for me at all. And that twist it sucked. It was stupid. It was a Shyamalan twist that I never want to see in a Dracula movie again. And also, some of the cast gets underused. Like, Jerry Ryan is right here. This gorgeous woman because she was still doing Star Trek at that time. I think it was either Deep Space Nine or the other one, of Voyager. She was doing one of the Star Trek shows, and she was barely in the film. She was in like maybe 3 or 4 scenes. Underused. And also, some of the others are like Sean Patrick Thomas is underused in the film, and Danny Masterson, he's underused. And there's too many characters in the movie that are just like throwaway characters, and they're underused. But that doesn't kill the movie for me. Everything else in the movie, I think, is spot on. I like the director, Patrick Lussier. He also directed Drive Angry 3D, which I enjoy. He also did. I think he edited My Bloody Valentine 3D, which I thought was a decent remake of a slasher film from the 80s that was from Canada. And he's done some good work. I mean, he's done some bad stuff, but he's also done some good stuff. And I still think the movie's decent. He knows how to direct the movie. The movie looks fantastic for the year 2000. It's a very good-looking film. It has a lot of gothic atmosphere with the cemetery and the clubs. And just the look of the feel. When they go back in time and they show the 19th century, it looks really well done. Like, it's very well shot. And it looks like it has a budget, so I can praise that about the film. Also, the rest of the cast. I think Justine Waddle, while she's foreign, we don't see a lot of her lately, and I thought she was decent in the film. She has this very soft voice. She's very emotional. She's a very beautiful woman. I will always say that about Justine Waddle. If she ever sees this video, I doubt it. But girl, you were not the problem with this movie. You were calm and collective, and you did your job. That's all I can ask for. And even though she's foreign, she's not Daisy Ridley. So I will give her that. Omar Epps, I liked him in the film. He was one of the criminals in the beginning of the film. I think he's solid in the film. He reminded me of Blade, played by Wesley Snipes, and I thought he had some good. It was good to see somebody different that was black in the film. Jennifer Esposito, I do like her. I've always liked her as an actress. She does the voice of Tina from the Looney Tunes show. I think she's beautiful. Very, very good look. Very good actress. And I like the scenes that she's in the beginning. I also liked Christopher Plummer's in the movie. He plays Van Helsing. I thought he was spot on. Really good performance. A great, classically trained actor from Canada. Really good stuff. I also like his daughter, Amanda Plummer. She's a good actress as well. And he does more than Johnny Lee Miller. Johnny Lee Miller gets his ass kicked so much in the movie. He gets these horrible one-liners that don't work. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, Johnny Lee Miller. Fuck you. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. You cannot deliver one-liners to save your life. But anyway, enough about Johnny Lee Miller. He sucks. The gore is really spot on. The special effects, pretty damn decent for the year 2000, late 1999. It was a lot of practical effects. There's very little CGI in this movie. There's practical gore and practical, decapitations, when they see practical heads, coming off of bodies, and, the dead bodies is all practical. It's actually there. There is some shoddy CGI, but it's very little. It's not like throughout the whole freaking movie. And there's a scene in this movie that actually got me. It wasn't scary, but it got me because there's a scene that Jerry Ryan she's a news reporter, and she's doing a story, and the camera guy is Shane West, so he's in the film. He's underused as well, but he was in the film. He's shooting her near a lake, and then all of a sudden Gerard Butler just comes out of nowhere and is standing next to her. I was like, whoa, where did he come from? That kind of got me. So, and like I said, also, Gerard Butler is an awesome Dracula. You didn't need the stupid twist that he's Judas. That's freaking stupid. As Dracula, he works. He has screen presence. I will say this, he's really handsome in this movie. He has curly hair and this jacket like Neo from The Matrix. And he's like, he uses his facial expressions and, a lot of body language to show you what he's saying. He doesn't have to say much in the film. And he's a good actor, Gerard Butler. Olympus Has Fallen is great. I think it's one of his best roles. I haven't seen 300, but I heard great things about it. I like his voice in How to Train Your Dragon. It's a good actor. He's very underrated, and the guy deserves more. I wish he did more horror. It would have been nice to see him play Dracula again, or a role like this, because he fit the bill just fine. It's a lot better than Colin Farrell in the Fright Night remake. I heard that was terrible. But here, he has a lot of screen presence. That's what's missing with people nowadays in horror. Some of them have no screen presence as a villain. He's definitely a better villain than any villain I saw this year in any movie. I'm dead serious. Every movie I saw this year sucked in major films. The villain in Deadpool, the villain in BVS, the villain in Suicide Squad, the villain in Civil War, the villain in freaking... I don't even know what else. Even in other films that I didn't enjoy, like in Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, he's a much better villain. At least if you just take it as that he's Dracula, not that BS twist, it works. He definitely works. And he's good in the film. I really like Gerard Butler as an actor. So seeing him young in this movie was nice to see. It was refreshing. The locations were fine. I mean, they're in London, but not very long. So I appreciate that. They're mostly in New Orleans, Louisiana. And like I said, there's good visuals. I think the film has a spot-on budget. It's not $100 million of a waste of time. And it's decent. It's not the worst movie ever made. I think the critics were just way too harsh on it. It does have problems. Like I said, Johnny Lee Miller is freaking terrible. The twist can suck it. I hate that twist. Religious or not, I hate that twist. It's a stupid twist. It's not needed in a horror movie. And some of the characters are underused. I also like Nathan Fillion. He's in the film as a priest. He's in like 2 scenes, but he makes do with what he's got. And I like him as an actor. The action sequences, they're mostly good. There's some Matrix, wire work, but I still think I'll take that over bad CG from the Twilight films or from freaking Suicide Squad, where everything is CG and there's not even real sets. Here, you get real sets, real locations, and real people. So at least it has that. And for 16 years old, this movie is not so bad. Like, I would take this over any vampire movie that came out this year, because it's not going to have wall-to-wall CGI and CGI blood and CGI people. It does what it can, and Wes Craven produced it. It definitely, the money is on the screen when it comes to most of the production values. It's really well done for that. But yeah, you don't need the stupid twist, you don't need Johnny Lee Miller, and you should have used more of the characters and developed them, especially the side characters like Danny Masterson and Jerry Ryan and Shane West and Nathan Fillion, etc. But like I said, Justine Waddle, decent. Didn't mind her in the film. Jennifer Esposito, I liked her. Omar Epps, I liked him. Gerard Butler is an awesome Dracula. Not the best. He will never top Bela Lugosi. He's the classic Dracula. He always will be. But it's a decent film for what it is. I did not expect to love this movie, but I did at least like it. And it has some good things to it, despite its flaws. And it was a forgotten movie. It flopped, and it's definitely acquired taste. This is a film that either you're going to enjoy or you're going to despise it with all your might. But I liked it for what it is, and it was short, 99 minutes. It wasn't that long. So that's my review of Dracula 2000. Make up your own mind if you want to see it or not. But that twist is stupid. I don't care whether you're a critic or not. It's a stupid twist. Never make your villain into Judas Iscariot unless it's a biblical movie, because it makes no sense otherwise. But anyway, it's decent. I didn't hate it. Critics hated it. It's not for them. But it's a movie for $2. I could have done a lot worse. So anyway, thanks guys for watching again. Another vampire movie. I promise the next movie will not be a vampire film. I'll trudge clear of that until I review the Underworld films. I know my friend's still waiting on that. That's coming up hopefully this weekend. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.